What's going on, people? I received a comment a couple of weeks ago from Frankie Williams. He asked me, he said, "Hey, I need help playing by ear and with worship. Can you make that video? Can you make video for that?" So he left this comment on a shed that we do at the church on third Sundays. So it was a pretty good question, and I'm gonna cover the playing by ear piece first. Listen to the bass player, find out what the bass is playing, or be able to hear that bass note on your own, and then from there, you're able to put the appropriate chords with it. If you don't know what those chords are, shameless plug, check out Basics 2 and 3 and 4. I really simplify 3 easy chords that you could put over top of all of the bass notes, pretty much. So that's that. Now, as far as worship, I'm gonna give you a couple of tips on that, maybe about 3 tips. I don't want it to be too long of a video. But tip 0 is let the worship be in you, because if that's what you're trying to do, then you need to make sure that it's in your heart, or you're not going to be in tune with what's going on. So worship is very environmental. Okay, so first tip is using pads under your piano. Okay, so I'm gonna be in F sharp. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Okay, so using a pad. All right, that's the first tip. Pads, chimes, strings, and then when the worship picks up, synth. Okay. All right. Now here's the next tip. Start on your 4. Okay. Start on your 4 chord, and then go to your 6. Then go back to your 4. All right. So if you don't do anything else, if you're beginner, 4 and then 6 and then 4 and then 6, just alternate it till your hands fall off. Okay. If you're more experienced, voice that 4 differently. You saw I voiced it like this. You can voice it like a power chord. You can voice it like that. All these are 4s. Then go to your 6. So 4, 6. All right. Here's a trick that you can learn if you are working your way up to intermediate. Okay. So the progression is just 4 and 6. Okay. First thing, you can walk up to the 6 with the 5 and walk back down with the 5. 5, 4, 5, 6. You can do that slower. All right. The next tip is, instead of going to the 4, you can go to the 2. And then you can go to the flat 7 instead of the 4. All right. All right. That's some of the basic tips. If you're more advanced, use suspended chords. Okay, those are your use your suspended chords, stuff like that. There are different ways to make suspended chords. This isn't a suspended chord lesson, but there are different ways to do that. Use diminished chords when there is tension. Use those type of things. You use your it works. It really does. And here's one last pro tip. Use mediant substitution. So if you're 4, here's one last tip. Sometimes less is more. Less notes can be more. So, I might play the 4 like that. Might do something like that. So that's certain things you can do, and then of course your transitions to get into those things. This isn't a transitional video. And if you need more tips on transitions, feel free to reach out to me. And if you need, if you want me to break this down more simple, or if you want me to break it down or ramp it up in a more advanced way, let me know. You know how to get in touch with me and reach out to me, as many people do. But yeah, thank you. Make sure you use these tips. They definitely work. All right, I'm out.